Hey guys, hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you're in the world. I am filming my last mukbang in Seoul for this trip. Tomorrow I'm going to be heading to Incheon and then get a flight out in 2 days back to the States. My current accommodation is located in Yeonnam-dong. There's a lot of foods, but I've been eating so much to film. So today I'm gonna not overdose on calories. We're gonna have a convenience store food. This specifically is Dosirak. Dosirak is Korean lunchbox, and I kind of made my own recipe on this side of the territory. I mixed 닭갈비. Oh, it failed the cheesy stretch test. So my cheese did not fully melt because the tray was too big, so when it was in the microwave it wouldn't rotate fully in circles. Here the cheese has not melted. On this side it is more than melted. Ooh, it looks a little bit mummified. And here we have bulgogi, as well as cucumber, ooh, seasoned shrimp, tonkatsu. It looks like there's spam and egg inside. Oh, this bulgogi is made of pork. And we have japchae, as well as some kimchi. Here's a close-up. Bottom of this portion of the tray is white rice with black sesame seeds. So let's have our first bite. Today I'm going to be answering your questions from Instagram, some from Facebook. Very savory. You need to have rice with that. You know, growing up, I loved putting cheese on my rice. When you scoop out the rice from the pot and it's steaming in your bowl, and you put your slice of cheese on there and it just melts. This side got microwaved so much. Too much. This part got microwaved too much that the moisture just evaporated and it became kind of like a chip. Like a cracker. Okay, let's have some cucumber. Oh, so you know, there are different types of sesame seeds. This one has the white sesame seeds on it. Semi-crunchy. Oh, just kidding, it's not cucumber, it's zucchini. You know, you guys, it's been a crazy 2 weeks. Well, like, as you may already know, I attended an event, like a 9-day event called Korea Joa. 15 YouTubers were invited to travel Korea together, mainly Seoul and Jeonju. Like, it was a very exciting yet exhausting trip. Our schedule was so crazy. It was like jam-packed with activity after activity, and while we're like engaged in the activity, we're having tons of fun, but at the end of the day we're just like all like pooped out. And yet some people still manage to go out and party. You know, we were invited to film our experiences, wearing hanbok, trying the traditional food in Jeonju, and even partaking in like K-pop oriented activities. We actually went to SM Town and learned how to dance. And by the end of the trip, we're all like, I think we all gained a kilo or 2, or maybe even 3 kilos. Like, there's so much food. And this one is the bulgogi with pork. You know, considering that this is convenience store food, it's actually pretty good. Our trip ended 2-3 days ago. I just wanted to stay home. I can be extroverted, but I get really tired when around people constantly. Even if I love being around those people, I'm someone who needs alone time. It doesn't have to be like all day, but I need a quality alone time to regain my energy. So by the end of the trip, yesterday I took a full day off. I was just like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I don't want to even be productive. I just need a full day off. So I typically don't watch Korean dramas. Oh, that cheese is getting stuck in my teeth. I typically don't watch Korean dramas, but yesterday I logged into Netflix and I watched 4 episodes of Stranger. And this time let's have some shrimp. That's very little spicy. Yeah, the skin is a little bit rugged. So if you don't chew enough, it might poke your inside of your mouth a bit. And the shrimp is quite salty because now when I have the bulgogi, it's not salty in comparison. So in this tray, the rice is like one rectangular block, but actually it was like kind of divided out like a chocolate bar, like in the half vertically and then horizontally many lines. Kind of like a 6-pack on a man, which in Korean we call chocolate abs. So japchae are glass noodles. I typically like japchae to have a little bit more sesame oil. This one has carrots in it as well as some spinach and also little bits of sesame seeds. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. And mushroom. Now let's answer your questions. Lester de los Santos Mama Clay asks, what is the most scariest moment in your life? When you're in the hotel do you stay? Do you believe in ghosts? I don't like to believe in ghosts, but I did have supernatural experiences, as some of you may already know. So I lived in an apartment that used to be a hotel. It's called the Gaylord in Koreatown, LA, Los Angeles. I lived there for about 1 year. And I personally didn't have any supernatural experiences in that building. I heard that on the 6th floor there's a ghost that's a bellboy and he rings on people's doors. And then just when people open the door, there's no one there. In one of the rooms, there was a dancer that was murdered and her ghost figure is sitting in a chair. Like she's wearing her actual dancer's outfit. And in another unit, when females live in it, they don't see anything, but men experience supernatural thingies. So when there's a male resident and he's sleeping, the female ghost will come and lift up his foot like boop, like that. Okay. Typically tonkatsu is the best when it's crispy on the outside, but this was sitting in the fridge at the convenience store for who knows how long, and I also microwaved this whole tray, so I'm guessing it's not going to be as crispy, but perhaps you'll be surprised. Yeah, it's soft. Actually, it's soggy. That's the more accurate term for it. Judith Wilson asks, who are your favorite artists and how do their works of art provide you with inspiration? Many artists inspire me. Depending on the phase of my life, different artists inspire me. Lately, I've been most inspired by Van Gogh. I find Van Gogh to be relatable. And although he didn't become famous until he passed away, he didn't stop painting. And sometimes we put a big emphasis on success, like the happy ending. But you know, some of us are not going to have that ultimate happy ending. Not everything we do will come to fruition. And perhaps it's better that way for some of us. And sometimes if you become too successful, it could change your original artistic process. It could affect your mindset and how you create your art next time or whatever project you're working on. So I'm not saying like success is a bad thing, but it can affect your art or whatever you're working on next. For better or for worse. So I'm not praising failure or success. Just every situation, you could learn something from it. Anyhow, just because you're successful today doesn't mean you're going to be successful forever. Everything is maintenance. Oh, we didn't try the kimchi yet. Is it going to be legit? It smells legit. It smells fermented. Okay, that kimchi is better than the ones that are served in your average Korean restaurant. But man, is it spicy. Wow. Woo. Just like bars of chocolate that you could break apart in smaller pieces easily, because of the indented lines, here I was able to take out a little rectangle shape of white rice. That was hot. 25 degrees Celsius, I'm gonna bring it down to 22. Sometimes it's not necessarily the artist's work that I'm inspired by, it's just their life story. That's why I like reading autobiographies. Biographies too, but especially autobiographies. When you learn about the behind the scenes story of how a person or how a project came to be, you get so much more of an appreciation for it. Even with movies, I could take 2 hours to watch a movie, but it could have taken 10 years to make it. When you learn about the technology they had to develop to make that movie and all the manpower it took. So initially you might not have really enjoyed watching that movie, but afterwards you're like, whoa, it took a lot of effort. I can respect that. KT asks, how long would you recommend tourists to visit Korea for the first time? In the summer. Stay as long as your body can handle the heat and humidity. Though, compared to Singapore and other parts of Southeast Asia, might not be too bad after all. If you come from countries with cooler weather, then it might be a challenge for you to be enduring the Korean summer. But if you're visiting from hot countries, it's gonna be easy A. I stayed almost 2 months in South Korea. I went to Seoul, Busan, and Jeju-do, and Jeonju. And it's still not enough. There's still so much to see, so much to do. Anywhere you go in the world, really, depending on what you like to do, it might never be enough time to be. Even if you're in a city that seems to be boring to you, someone else might find it to be very fun, and they might be able to stay for years and still have things to do there. For example, if there's a city filled with partying, but not much things to do for people who like to read, then people who like to read will find one day to be even enough in that city. However, people who love to party, they'll be like, oh, they can't get enough. I mean, it's hard for me to say like how many days is right for everyone in Seoul or in South Korea in general. There's just depends on what you like to do, what you like to see. If you like food, then wow, there's so many restaurants to try. I'm nearly done with this meal, so let's squeeze in another question. I just want the cheese, so I'm peeling it off the rice. Jojo Molin 516. What are 3 points of advice you'd give to someone going to Korea for the first time? Also, how long do you recommend staying there? Your second question, I answered it. Okay, you guys, when you come to Korea, make sure you buy dry tissue and wet tissue. Most bathrooms will give you toilet paper, but not all of them. And I have been in situations where like there's no toilet paper, and some restrooms don't provide you with soap, or they ran out of it, or maybe it's like a bar soap. I personally don't like touching public bar soaps, so that is where the wet tissue comes in handy. Another piece of advice, in America we tend to have a bigger personal space bubble. In Korea, people bump into each other and people are used to it, so they don't apologize all the time. Some people will, other people won't. Depending on what part of the world you are in, your personal space bubble might be like super tiny or might be big. So people who come from countries with a very big personal space bubble, when they go to some busy cities in Asia, they might get offended. But don't worry, you're not the only one that is being bumped into or that you're bumping into other people. It happens all over the world. The bigger and the busier the city, there are tendencies like this. But in America, like in LA, people don't bump into each other as much because there's more space to walk around. LA is a car-centric culture. At least at the time I filmed this. Third piece of advice. When you talk to elders or strangers in Korean, remember to speak to them formally. What I mean by speaking formally is, in Korean, if you're ending politely, then you say yo or nida. So if you want to say hello in Korean to a friend, you can say 안녕. But when you're talking to an elder, you should say 안녕하세요. Speaking formally can make the sentences longer. This Dosirak, it's actually pretty good. Yeah, considering that it is convenience store food. It's nothing that I'm gonna dream about at night. But if there was a zombie apocalypse, I would crave it. I'm not big on white rice, so I'm gonna leave that. I'm so excited to get back to the States. I've been going at it, like constantly being productive as possible for 2 months. I've been constantly eating because of food vlogging, and my body, it's time to get fit. When I get back to the States, I'm going to exercise. And a lot of family and friends have been telling me like, oh, you must be sad because you're leaving Korea soon. And to be honest, I'm more happy than sad. It's about time I go home. I love Korea. I love Seoul, I love Busan, I love Jeju-do, but I miss having access to a gym every day and having a routine. Normally I get bored of routine, but when you're like constantly traveling, it could be taxing on the body, and that's when you crave the routine again. You know that saying, you always want what you don't have, you know, the grass is greener on the other side. And actually I'm feeling very frazzled after this trip. I have no room to have deep thinking these days. I'm just like, no time to reflect on anything. I'm just constantly on the go. So I'm really excited to go back home, have some downtime where I could reflect on things at the end of the day. Having time to rest and reflect is very important. There are other questions I really wanted to answer in this mukbang, but I finished all my food before, so I'll answer. I'll continue next week. And if anyone else has questions, let me know in the comment section, and you just might be featured in the next mukbang. I'll see you guys in the next mukbang and travel video. Bye!